Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the name of this skill is determine the main idea. What we're basically going to answer is what is this entire text about? And what we're going to do is we're going to use supporting details within the text in order to help us determine what the text is about. So I'm going to go ahead and read this paragraph. Supporting biliteracy. There are many good reasons to learn a second language. A second language can improve your understanding of your native language, open the door to new job opportunities, and help you learn about other cultures. Yet, American students are less likely than European students to study foreign languages in school. To address this gap, several states have begun doing more to encourage biliteracy, the ability to read and write in two languages. California, New York, and Illinois are among the states that have passed laws establishing a state seal of biliteracy. A seal of biliteracy shows that a student has achieved proficiency in a second language. Supporters of the seal say that they honor the importance of second language learning. The seals also provide colleges and future employers with evidence of students' abilities. So, what is the main idea of the passage? Although second language learning is important, students in the United States are less likely than those in Europe to learn a second language, or fewer American students than European students learn a second language. So some states are promoting the study of foreign languages. So let's look at our details. So there are many good reasons to learn a second language. It says here, yet American students are less likely than European students to study foreign languages in school. To address this gap, several states have begun doing more to encourage biliteracy, the ability to read and write in two languages. So here it has California, New York, and Illinois are among the states that have passed laws establishing a state seal of biliteracy. So here it says, although second language learning is important, students in the United States are less likely than those in Europe to learn a second language. And here it says fewer American students than European students learn a second language. So some states are promoting the study of foreign languages. So this one would be the main idea, as these are the actual supporting details. So from yet to seal of biliteracy. Yet American students are less likely than European students to study foreign languages in school. To address this gap, several states have begun doing more literacy. The ability to read and write two languages. California, New York, and Illinois are among the states that passed these laws establishing a state seal of biliteracy. Let's see if our answer is correct. All right, let's do another one. Human activity and earthquakes. When Americans think of earthquakes, they tend to think of California, a state known for its frequent seismic activity. In recent years, however, people in Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas have been feeling the ground shake more often. An increase in oil and gas drilling in these states has led to human-induced earthquakes, those resulting from human activity. When wastewater is disposed of during gas and oil drilling, the water is forced deep underground. The resulting buildup of pressure can cause fault lines, cracks in the Earth's crust, to shift. According to Mark Peterson, head of the U.S. Geological Survey's Earthquake Hazard Mapping Project, in the past 5 years, the UGS has documented high shaking and damage in areas of these 6 states, mostly from induced earthquakes. So what is the main idea of this passage? An increase in oil and gas drilling has caused a corresponding increase in earthquakes in 6 states, or residents of 6 U.S. states have experienced an increase in earthquake activity in recent years. So when Americans think of earthquakes, they tend to think of California, a state known for its frequent seismic activity. So in recent years, however, people in Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas and Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas have been feeling the ground shake more often. So it says an increase in oil and gas drilling in these states have led to human-induced earthquakes, those resulting from human activity. So it says here, an increase in oil and gas drilling has caused a corresponding increase in earthquakes in 6 states. It says residents of 6 states have experienced an increase in earthquake activity in recent years. So here, since it says an increase in oil and gas drilling in these states, these are the 6 states, has led to human-induced earthquakes, those resulting from human activity, then this here is our main idea. This is what the text is about. Last one. All right. It says the first newspaper war. The Crimean War was fought in the 1850s between Russia on one side and Britain, France, and Turkey on the other. Although it was a major conflict, it is perhaps best remembered as the first war in which journalists were present on the battlefield. News dispatches from William Howard Russell, a reporter from the Times of London, exposed military blunders and revealed the filthy conditions that existed in military hospitals and camps. Photographers such as James Robertson and Roger Fenton made hundreds of photographs of soldiers on the battlefield. These news reports and photographs provided an uncensored look at life on the front lines. The Crimean War marked the first time in history that people back home were exposed to the horrors of war. So what is the main idea of the passage? It says the Crimean War was the first war to be documented for civilians, or the Crimean War was fought between the Russians and the British, French, and Turkish. So let's take a look at our first topic sentence. It says the Crimean War was fought in the 1850s between Russia on one side and Britain, France, and Turkey on the other. And down here it says the Crimean War marked the first time in history that people back home were exposed to horrors of war. It says although it was a major conflict, it is perhaps the best remembered as the first war which journalists were present on the battlefield. So it's the first war in which journalists were present on the battlefield, and I know that journalists are people who give reports. Then for the Crimean War was the first war to be documented for civilians. You're going to try others on your own. Your goal is to reach 80%, and if this is a skill in which you have already reached 80%, then your goal is to go to 100. Good luck.